Ladies and gentlemen, I am Electron. This has turned out to be a busy week for me, however, the nature of the topics I want to talk about are definitely due. However, due to loot boxes being such a hot button issue right now, this cannot wait. Before I begin going into this, let me be clear. I do not approve of loot boxes. They disgust me, especially when used in games that players have already paid for. Unfortunately, I do feel at times I need to defend them, as this is how many collectible card games work, although I will say that CCGs do have alternate methods of obtaining your desired card, and that MTG Arena may in fact have the best of these methods. While I do find these practices disgusting, I also have to ask why we the consumer allowed this to reach the point where we require government intervention, which in my opinion will cause more damage to the consumer than loot boxes ever will. The backlash of government regulations are already starting to show, with several mobile games being removed from respective digital distribution stores in the UK and Belgium. While the fixation has been on EA and Epic Games defending loot box practices, very little is being mentioned about how consumers have lost access to content they bought due to the title removed from their store. The current backlash towards the loot box scenario seems to be that EA placed it as surprise mechanics. To be honest, there hasn't been a proper definition of what a loot box actually is. And as a result, until this description is defined, this will become a practice for EA or Epic or Ubisoft or any other publisher to use a different term to describe what the loot box mechanic is, without calling it a loot box. What's more, during a hearing in the UK Parliament regarding loot boxes, an incident was mentioned in which a child spent £1,600 in a single day over 15 separate transactions, using his uncle's Sony account. Considering that I doubt this child in question played a full 24 hours, I will place the most liberal amount being more likely around 8 hours of total playtime. By this, it would mean that the child in question would have spent over £100 every 30 minutes. Blame in this case has been placed squarely in Epic or EA's lap. However, why has no one questioned Sony as to why they didn't act in the frequency and magnitude of these purchases? Also, knowing that credit card companies have frozen credit cards for far less, why wasn't the credit card in question not frozen? Finally, the big question that has not been asked and seems to be typical in almost every case surrounding video games and children is, where were the parents/uncle in this case? Too many parents are using the electronic babysitter instead of being involved in their child's gaming habits. It is no wonder that children are spending too much time and money on video games. At no point am I saying Epic or EA are responsible at some point. What I'm saying is there are many players in this case and all need to take some responsibility. At some point we do need to place some responsibility on the consumer. Already we have a case where an individual recognized an addiction